having a measles outbreak because of the COVID lockdowns, because people didn't, like children, during that period did not get vaccinated.
Saying this as you're actively trying to introduce 10 billion tons of glyphosate into every soybean is incredible.
Compensation, all of our churches closed our schools, and our children are still paying the price for that.
Wait, sorry. Oh, closed all of our churches or schools, and our children are still paying the price for that. You guys see that one video of clavicular graduating middle school from home? It's low-key kind of depressing. I was trying to think of putting a positive spin, but low-key kind of is just depressing.
And yet we had the worst outcome.
Sounds like he's been wearing his presidential neck bag too tight.
Of any country in the world.
How so?
We have the highest death rate from COVID of any nation on earth.
Well, I mean, certainly Anthony Fauci and the president had opinions, but the lockdowns were done by governors, and largely because they were hearing from hospitals saying that their ICUs were overrun and they needed some help while that was happening.
Well, that's not true. That's just not true.
It is
what
true.
You're saying is not true. No.
He didn't even respond to what she said. What the fuck? It was literally a state-by-state basis. What the fuck? That's why red states had like obscenely high numbers of people in the ICU.
Oh, they were doing it because Anthony Fauci was telling them from the top.
Again, the president was in charge.
The president was trying to reopen the country when he left. The country was kept closed for another year, almost a year and a half after that.
Let's talk about...
It just doesn't address the point. You agree that the lockdowns began under Trump's presidency. But that doesn't count because Biden came right after. Oh, okay. All right.
How to prevent the next pandemic. Because there's a lot of litigating and relitigating that I don't think is really helpful to do with regard to COVID.
And clearly, COVID-19 pandemic and many other global pandemics that we have come from gain-of-function research. The RSV epidemic that we have that is the biggest killer of kids in this country today came from these kind of experiments. The Lyme disease almost certainly came from this kind of research. So, and the science...
I have to look this up. I'm sorry. Just need to make sure I haven't lost my mind.
Who you say are experts are making the argument that this is necessary for pandemic response cannot point to one instance in history where research that came out of this kind of experimentation.
So just in case you guys were curious, RSV was not generated via a gain of function research. Just in case you guys were curious, that was before that. Just if you guys wanted to know. Okay. Oh, good. They already have the article on this. The RSV epidemic that we have is, sorry, as a general rule, never trust anything RFK is claiming. Kennedy claimed that gain-of-function research was responsible not just for the virus that causes COVID-19, but for other diseases as well. The RSV epidemic that we have is the biggest killer of kids in this country today. Came from these kind of experiments. I thought the biggest killer of kids was guns, but maybe he's talking about illnesses that don't stem from bullet wounds. RSV, or respiratory syncytial? I might be mistaking the pronunciation on this one. Hold up. Double check this. Syncytial. All right. No C, no hard C there. Was first identified in the late 1950s in a lab, chimpanzees as well as human children. What became known as gain-of-function research began 2 decades later when scientists first figured out how to piece together genes from different organisms. Isn't that interesting? That that didn't get created in a gain-of-function research lab, and it's been around since the 50s. Interesting. Same thing for Lyme disease. Interesting. And it's funny too, because the next paragraph is literally describing what she said, which is, hey, after 2011, when 2 teams of scientists modified the bird flu virus so it could become more dangerous to be transmitted between mammals throughout the air, something the virus hadn't been able to do before, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services stepped in to create guidelines and mandate oversight of such research. The purpose, obviously, of this research, I mean, you guys already know, I think, but the purpose, obviously, of the research is on the off chance that the virus mutates on its own to do this, wouldn't it be nice if we already had the virus so we could prepare some vaccines or treatments or cures for it? If we had it ahead of time, we wouldn't have to worry if it ever mutated in a way that would impact us extremely negatively. Should there be really strong guardrails for that research? Yeah, obviously. Is it bad to be prepared for a mutation that could kill a lot of people? No, obviously not. But that has nothing to do with, I mean, he literally described it as the biggest killer of kids in this country comes from these kind of experiments. RSV did not get created because of this research. Like, who thinks? I don't understand. Is it just like appeal to like nature on everything for conservatives? It's like, this is unnatural, so we shouldn't do it. We should just let the viruses mutate as they please. And when they kill all of us, then we deal with it then. Like, what?
Has actually provided us something beneficial.
So how do you prepare then?
RFK's logic is the same as the solipsistic bullshit. Diseases didn't just exist 100 years ago when we hadn't discovered them yet. RFK seems to be operating under the assumption that all diseases that happen after gain of function are a result of gain of function research. Yeah.
See everything wrong the last time.
So what about now?
The principal thing that we need to do is we need to listen to what's happening to doctors on the ground. There are 15 million frontline physicians around the world. They're mainly...
You mean the doctors that asked for lockdowns because the ICUs were overflowing with people that had COVID? You mean the doctors telling people to get vaccinated and then parents deny their kids vaccines and the kids die of measles? You mean those fucking doctors?
Now connected through the internet, we can tell on the front lines what's working and what's not. If we had listened to those doctors during the COVID pandemic, we would have saved
Denims, I have to mute him. I'm eating.
potentially millions of lives. There were therapeutics out there that were working. There were doctors that were having no deaths from COVID and treating, in some cases, thousands of patients. Well, during COVID, we completely dismantled our constitutional rights. We began censoring people in violation of the First Amendment.
But I'm not. You're saying
First Amendment. Whose First Amendment rights were violated during COVID? What
not to do. I'm asking what to do. But I want to talk about.
That's something to do.
Is he talking about the masks? Shut up. He's not talking about the masks. Shut up. No.
So that is the number one priority. We protect the Constitution.
But
yeah,
you were saying you were yes,
you were part of the problem.
No, I wasn't part of the problem.
There was absolute press malpractice. You weren't allowing your
press malpractice. I'm gonna sue the press for this malpractice.
Mr. Secretary,
your job is a fierce skepticism.
Thank you for the 20 gift subs. Thank you, everyone. If you got gifted a sub, you have to say thank you. Or else I curse-explode you with my mind. All right? But thank you so much, Contra. LMAO, thank you so much for the 3 months. Ashina, thank you for the gift sub. Pixel, thank you for the prime. This is my burner phone. Thank you for the prime. Curious, thank you for the prime. Trunk, thank you so much for the 49. Or sorry, for the 7 months, excuse me. Raziel, thank you for the 36 months. Gogo, thank you for the 8 months. Maple takes, oh, sorry, I missed this. Thank you for the gift sub. Motorola, thank you for the gift sub also. Thanks, guys. Strum Dog, thank you for the 20 months. What the?
40. And you weren't doing that.
Guys, 1 sub equals 1 more minute of being harassed by RFK Jr. All right, that is a promise. Hard to stomach an interview where Dana Fash is the good guy. Dude, I know, right? House of Rice, thank you so much for the 5 gifts. Storm Dog, thank you for the 20 minutes again. Thank you.
Beating
My
up
job
on people
is
who
also
are dissenting.
No. Okay. Are you want to sit here and attack me, or do you want to have conversations
sitting
about
here and
public health?
attacking me.
I'm not attacking you. I'm asking questions about how to
And let
prevent
me
the next
ask the
pandemic.
question.
I think that what I have talked to scientists and doctors
Talk to
about.
scientists. Can you show me one study
Yes, I can.
that shows that
I can.
children were protected by the COVID vaccine?
I can tell you that
that
there are.
vaccine did more.
Can you pull up even one study that shows children were benefited by vaccines? Is there even one? Is there even one of those? Even a single one that shows that vaccines help children? I bet you can't even find one of those.
More good than harm to children. Can you show me one study that shows that?
I can tell you that when it comes to the vaccine, there have been studies that show that because of vaccine
What
disinformation, there could have been 100 to 200.
Dana Fashion, this interview feels exactly like when I'm trying to talk to like an older family member and I have to like fight to finish my sentence. And I'm like, what I'm trying to say is
200,000 lives in the U.S. saved. But because people didn't get the vaccine, that's why. I'm not saying that it entirely.
You
let
are
me finish.
saying
Let me
nonsense.
finish.
You are saying something that you cannot show me
Okay.
a single study.
I am
that
not
says
saying
that.
nonsense.
You
I
are
am
talking what
Excuse
somebody
me.
told you.
dude, it's exactly like talking to like your parents on a topic that they don't want to concede on, or like talking to like your uncle and like talking to the conservative in your family and being like, no, that's not true. You're talking nonsense. You're nonsense. You were saying nonsense.
You.
Excuse me.
And you
Let me.
cite me the study.
What
study?
No, what
Cite
studies
me
are
the
you
study.
talking about? You're talking about studies that actually don't exist. I want to talk about.
Cite me the
I am
study
not-
that you're talking about. If
I am
you
not
say
here
you've
to
seen
defend-
studies, cite me the study.
Imagine saying this to the health secretary of the United States. What, you mean to tell me that it's bad for our general society that a reporter, or I guess not a reporter, but like Dana Fash, however you would describe her, has to explain that vaccines work to the guy in charge of our health? You think that that's a bad thing?
This is not productive. I am not here to defend all of the. Let me
You're
finish.
talking nonsense.
Let me
You're making
finish.
assertions you can't support. And then when I call you on them, you're telling me that I'm arguing.
Okay,
with
do you want to talk about assertions that you can't support? I'll get there in a second. Let me just say, for the record, that I am not saying that the entire way that the COVID reaction was accurate. It was a scary time, and people made mistakes. Absolutely.
You
Let
were
me finish.
scaring people
Why are you saying that?
because that was the job of CNN.
Okay.
Was to
Okay,
put the
stop.
chyrons up about how many people are.
Why are you? No, you were scaring people. Really? You know, I'm going to be honest. I didn't need to watch any CNN to be scared of COVID. When all of my college classes went online, I was like, hey, so, this has never happened before. Indefinitely online. All of the classes are now indefinitely online. Ooh. That's when I realized shit was serious. I think probably at some point for a lot of people, it was maybe someone in their family getting sick. God forbid someone in their family dying from COVID or from one of the illnesses that COVID causes. I would argue it was way more that than it was anything else. Y'all, I didn't need CNN I didn't need CNN to tell me to be scared when I had all of the evidence I needed when my billion-dollar retailer closed for a month and a half. LOL. So for him to be like, you did that. And she's like, excuse me, why are you saying that? Because it's CNN's job. Okay, that's enough.
Mistakes. Absolutely.
You
Let me
were
finish.
scaring people
Why are you saying that?
because that was the job of CNN.
Okay.
was to put
Okay,
the
stop.
chyrons up
Okay,
about how
stop.
many people are
We
dying.
were trying to
get people
we were
to
listening
comply.
to the leaders in this country, including the president, who had a daily press conference explaining what was going on and trying to listen.
Were you listening?
I want to
the
talk to
scientists,
measles.
Actually, were you reading the science yourself?
Measles cases in the U.S. just reached a 35-year high. The second record-breaking year in a row. 93% of these.
I'm going to be honest. I've never seen, I'm sure it's happened before, but I've never seen, and unfortunately I've watched way too much Dana Fash interviews, Dana Fash get this upset. I've never seen her devolve into like talking to someone like they were her like conservative dad. She got so upset about it. Oh my God. I'm not saying that in an attempt to be insulting to her on this, but rather that I've never seen her have a guest on that has gotten her that upset. It's sort of like that one interview, the Kanye West and Alex Jones. I've never seen Alex Jones try to make the other person turn their position a little bit more normal. That was the first time I saw Alex Jones say, yeah, but like you don't like actually like mean that, right? Huh? Well, I don't know that I agree with like I don't know that I agree with that. Like that's okay. Oh, okay.
Cases are among the unvaccinated. The outbreak is happening on your watch, and even before becoming HHS secretary.
Also, maybe what he's talking about is, or the therapeutics that he's referencing, doctors trying known medication to treat COVID symptoms at the beginning of the pandemic that we knew very little about. With this new virus, when it didn't work, doctors stopped using them, but then conservatives got fixated on them.
For years, you have been one of the leading voices questioning the efficacy of vaccines. Do you accept some responsibility for this measles outbreak?
Absolutely not. First of all, this is an international outbreak. So, and we're doing better at handling it than any country in the world. Mexico has 15 times the amount of measles per capita that we have. Canada has 4 times the amount of measles. England has 2 times the amount of measles. Did I cause those measles outbreaks?
You're the most famous.
Did I cause 137,000 cases?
You're the most famous vaccine skeptic on the planet.
Let me tell you, because actually Anthony Fauci in his diaries answers the question about why we're having a measles outbreak right now. The reason we're having a measles outbreak because of the COVID lockdowns, because children during that period did not get vaccinated. And in his diaries, he says this is going to cause massive outbreaks in measles and more children, he says this, are going to die. Let me finish, because you could accuse me of something. Now, let me.
No, I didn't. I asked you a question.
Yeah.
I have to go ahead. This interaction's too good. Sorry, one more time.
Because actually, Anthony Fauci in his diaries.
Which, by the way, what he's talking about is the fact that Fauci said, this is the article talking about the recent hearings with Fauci. He also pressed Fauci on May 6, 2020 conversation he had with Dr. Robert Redfield, former director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, over the fact that 1 million children had missed their measles vaccination because of the shutdown. This is terrible, needs to be addressed, since on that basis alone, there would be far more excess deaths from measles among children than the coronavirus deaths among children. That the lockdown was preventing children from getting the measles vaccine. It wasn't about that the lockdown was made specifically to hurt children and get them killed, and all illnesses are fake and vaccines don't do anything. It was him saying it's a pro-vaccine stance, but they want to be anti-Fauci. Denims, this guy's going to live to 130, isn't he? It'll be painful, but he will live almost forever, ? I don't know what could kill RFK Jr. I think he's already had like 20 different pathogens try and fail. So I don't.
Immediately, the epidemic intelligence services to those states. I get on the phone with the governor and we stop them in their tracks. Nobody else has been able to do that.
You have a bully pulpit.
Let me tell you just one last thing.
Go ahead.
The communities that are suffering from measles are almost all religious communities that just don't vaccinate. The Mennonites have not vaccinated since 1796, since Edward Jenner invented the smallpox vaccine. It's hard to blame that on me as much as you want to blame it.
No, I don't want to blame you. I'm asking.
What? Then vaccinate them. Hello? You can't just be like, well, I'm super religious, so my kids get to die of measles. That shouldn't be a right that you have as a parent, that you get to let your kids die of fucking measles.
You because you have a very powerful voice on these issues for people.
You can, unfortunately, no. Not when it comes to like going to schools, public schools, not when it comes to participating in society and being a risk for transmitting. You have to get, as a kid, you have to get your MMR vaccines to go to public school. So you absolutely can.
Who are skeptical. Let me finish.
There are lots of instances where we step in and tell parents that they are not allowed to do things with regard to children because children cannot make their own decisions. So we are allowed to step in, like the state is allowed to step in.
Question the efficacy of the MMR vaccine.
Okay, let me finish. What I want you to do is please use your bully pulpit to right now, as we're getting close to back to school, are you willing to say to parents who have not vaccinated their kids that they should vaccinate their kids for measles because it is safe and it will help them save their children's lives?
We tell people on my websites, my public
right now, look into the camera.
Now that parents should get their children vaccinated for measles. A measles vaccine is effective. It stops measles in about 97% of the cases. But people should get vaccinated.
Can I ask you, the Wall Street Journal reported that the president is pressuring you to conduct studies.
I don't know if his base would like that, by the way. Wait, what was the last thing that he said?
Measles in about 97% of the cases. But people should get vaccinated.
Can I ask you?
Later pregnancy and during the perinatal period to autism onset. But you are wrong when you say that this issue has been studied. It has been studied, and you're rolling your eyes, Dana. But
I am, because I don't want to have you use our air to say this. There have been more than 40 studies involving 5.6 million people to conclude there is.
I don't want you using our air to say this.
No link between vaccines and autism. This is the head of the Committee of Infectious Diseases for the American Academy of Pediatrics.
Now let me tell you what the Institute of Medicine says, which is the National Academy of Sciences, which is the ultimate arbiter on vaccine safety, and which it does not have an interest in this debate. It says that none of the 8 vaccines that are administered during the first 6 months of life have ever been studied for relationship to autism. It found 2 studies, one on the DTP vaccine that showed that it does cause autism, and one on the hepatitis B vaccine that again suggests that it does cause autism. The Institute of Medicine dismissed those 2 studies because they were based on CDC's database. The studies that you're referring to are all for one vaccine, the MMR vaccine, or one ingredient, thimerosal.
So you are actually looking at, you're starting new studies to try to link autism, but you're also telling me.
I'm not trying to link autism to anything.
She just said that, she just asked him, is the administration currently trying to get you to link autism to vaccines? And he said yes.
I'm trying to find out, why has autism gone
Are you
from
also
less
trying
than
to,
one?
are you also trying to find out how it interacts with people's DNA, what's predisposed to have an autistic child? Are you doing both?
Yeah, but Dana, you probably don't understand this because you're not a scientist, but genes
you're not
don't
either.
Genes don't cause epidemics.
I understand. Genes, epidemics.
Provide a vulnerability.
A gene provides
environmental.
That's what I'm asking. Are you studying the environmental
We're looking
exposure?
at all the different environmental exposures, but your statement, you have been fooled. Your statement that this has been studied is not true. It's categorically not true. Not for any of this stuff.
It is considered.
Considered by who?
By every scientist who has studied this.
That is not true. I can give you.
Do I have to play the entire documentary from H. Bomber guy again?
Hundreds of scientists who have looked at this.
So on the
saying,
one
why
hand,
is
do you understand why
the
people aren't
National
getting?
Academy of Sciences. What greater authority
Do you
have
understand
than
why
that?
people are not getting measles vaccines? Because they're hearing you say that it could
You're
cause
trying
autism.
to change the subject.
I'm not. It's very much
Yeah, you are.
related.
Show me one of the studies that's been done on the first 8.
By the way, this is the organization he said does not give a shit about the link. Do vaccines cause autism? Vaccines do not cause autism. No credible studies show that autism is caused by vaccines. By the way, let me give a TLDR, but maybe we'll watch it because it is Sunday Fun Day. The entirety of the vaccine autism skepticism, or whatever you'd like to call it, it all started in the UK, unfortunately. And it started because one guy wanted to make money by separating the MMR vaccines and trying to prove that they needed to be split up over a period of time to be safe. It started from a guy wanting to make some profit. All my homies hate Andrew Wakefield. Should we? Let's finish this because I really want to finish this interview.
The vaccines during the first 6 months of life, you will not find them. The National Academy of Sciences
So
say
if that's
they
the
do not
case, then why are
exist.
you telling people to get the measles vaccine?
Because that is one of the vaccines that has been studied.
Okay.
It's the only one that has been studied.
Do you want people to get the MMR vaccine?
Yeah, I said that already.
Okay.
Source of COVID. He was lying, and you were punishing people for not trusting the experts. And now you're rolling out the experts again
Yes.
to talk about something that you have no personal knowledge of.
Okay. Well, guess what? That is my job.
No, what? Okay. It makes me so mad when I hear these fucking conservatives talk about trusting the experts. Trusting the experts there meant, hey, we think that doing this would be beneficial. We don't know that much about about COVID. We don't know that much about transmission. This is our current initial guess about masks. And they try and talk about the fact that they said no masks for a short period of time because they wanted to make sure that there were enough masks for healthcare professionals. And then they said, everyone, please mask up. And then they were like, well, you guys said that there was no masks needed. It's like, okay, so I guess you're fine with your heart surgeon and your neurosurgeon performing the surgery while they're coughing over your fucking heart, over your brain. No, I think you agree. You don't want people's spit coming right at you. Especially, and this makes me so mad. It makes me so mad that COVID was so heavily politicized that people refuse to wear masks when they're sick. I'm not gonna lie. Asian countries, I know China and Japan and Korea. I don't know beyond that, but I'm pretty sure most of Asia. If you're sick, you wear a mask. Do you know how pissed it makes me when someone's like coughing and sneezing and sniffling and they're not wearing a mask? It makes me so mad. I don't think it's unreasonable to say, when I'm sick, I wear a mask. And I'm not even saying like a crazy mask, just like a cloth mask. Just like one of the most simple masks. The most simple mask, okay? Just put it over your nose. That's the other thing that triggers the fuck out of me. Put it over your nose, under your chin. And if you're sick, just wear a mask. Just wear a mask. It's not. I don't feel like it's asking for much. And you only have to do it when you're inside. If you want to take it off when you're outside in the open air, go for it, man. But come on, man, please. And it's like, no, it's stopping the oxygen flow. The mask is trying to suffocate and kill me. I'm like, my mom regularly sneezes into her hands and it drives me insane. Oh, so brutal, man.
Job to talk to people.
Your job is to
Am I
tell the
allowed
truth
to talk?
to the American
Yes,
public.
yes. And my job
And
is
to
to
be-
get as
and
much
to-
information as I
and to
can.
make-
Well, I'm sorry that this, and that's good news for people who are very moms, and I'm one of them, who are very worried about making sure that our kids eat food.
Anyone
and
is a very mom?
we eat food that is healthy. I'm sorry that this turned into a very contentious conversation, and my job is to try to get the best information out there. And it does concern me when you come in and say things that have, I
Your
take what you're
experts
saying
don't
have been
agree with.
Yeah, people who have scientific backgrounds, and who I know have tried to talk to you as well. Thank you for coming in.
So I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's definitely been a fun ride, and I plan to enjoy the rest of the Trump presidency to the max, because that's the only way that I have to cope. That and rooting for candidates like Mamdani and Abdul Sayed and Oliver Larkin. However, I'm excited to be off this ride, guys. I'm excited for it to end. All right. It'll end eventually.